Ladies and gentlemen, Oxidean Marine is now presenting to you yet another super bad RC boat option. Look, up in the sky, it's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's the Magnum 44 bare hull and carbon Kevlar. Hi there, I'm Bill Oxidean. I raced radio-controlled model boats for over 25 years. Over that time, I won a lot of races and broke a lot of records, and I learned a lot, not just about boats, but about life. Eventually, I graduated to full-size drag boats, and I've had a great time doing that. Now, I have my own RC boat factory. We make the world's fastest, most reliable radio-controlled boats. Join us as we show you all about it. Wow, gentlemen. Wow, ladies and gentlemen. Would you take a look at this? Full carbon Kevlar in all its luster, beauty, and glory. This is a bare hull, but I'm just excited about this thing as our fully built up, ready to run and ARTR boats. This bare hull is so nice. I truly don't know where to start. This thing has got so many great features that surpass any hull that is out there. I don't care if you get something from Russia. I don't care if you get something from Bulgaria. I don't care if you get something from Kazakhstan. You ain't gonna outdo our hulls, man. We got the strength, quality, and finish that is unsurpassed. Let's start with strength. I mean, come on. This thing is full carbon Kevlar. Now, alas, as I show you one hell of a feature, let's open this thing up. Open the box, open wide. Wow. Would you take a look inside? So in other words, this hull isn't just carbon Kevlar. Our triple thick hulls have 3 layers, and inside is carbon fiber. That is insane. Most companies, what they do is if they even give you a carbon hull, they're going to give you carbon on the outside and just a little Kevlar in here up to about right here on the inside, so that's what you see. This is a different ball game. We've got the carbon Kevlar on the outside, and we have the carbon on the inside. And if you'll notice, the weave pattern on the carbon is almost X pattern. But you look at the carbon Kevlar, it's straight across like this. When you cross the weaves like this in the layup, it creates a different added strength. How do I know this? Because I've spent months, actually years, studying composites. Well, what's this little football in here? What's this little football? Let's get this thing out of here. I can guarantee you this is some hardware. Well, what do you know? It's a bag of hardware. Sweet darling. Would you take a look at these outdrives? They are insane, dude. This is a nice, thick, heavy piece of aluminum. Look how beefy everything is on there. Look how beefy the pivot and everything is. Super strong. It's got a great bolt pattern. The bolt pattern is actually the same as the animal. And the outdrive package, of course, you get 2 of them. Now, one thing I like about these outdrives is they have little steps in them. See that little step? It tapers right here. And there's a step. These steps relieve water, and they create less drag, which means more speed. Would you like to know the very best feature about these outdrives? Their ball bearing. We use precision NMB bearings. for our outdrives. Now, what have we here, my dear? We've got a full-on push-pull cable rudder system. Would you look at that? So cool. Now, what I like about this rudder system is the rudder itself. If you look, check out these phases in it. That makes it so as it's turning, it locks in at different angles. It also leaves the water going across it as it's going through the water. What that creates is less drag, and drag is a drag. You don't want something dragging through the water. The more you got dragging through the water, the less speed you'll get. And you know what? What we're trying to do, young feller, is we're trying to get speed. Off topic, but man, would you look at this Hobbywing 4685 motor. Now, wouldn't that look pretty in there? Sweet darling. Look at that, sweet darling. That sure would look pretty in there. That's a beautiful motor. We just come up with the combos, man. We make the best, most reliable, highest quality, ready-to-run boats imaginable. You know why? Because with my over 2 decades of experience with RC boats, period, and with my 5 decades of experience with RC, what I did when I was a kid is, I always wanted an RC company. It wasn't going to be boats. I thought it was going to be cars. But when I first started doing RC cars when I was 5 years old, and I would get Tamiya cars and stuff like that, I always wondered, how come the first thing I got to do is get a new motor? How come I got to buy all these upgrades? I told myself, when I grow up, I'm going to make RC stuff that doesn't need any upgrades, that comes totally kick-ass out of the box, and I cannot believe we're here, and I'm making these boats for you guys that don't need shit. Big Daddy, beefy bracketry. This rudder is husky. This is plenty of rudder. You're going to have a real hard time bending this one, partner. I'll tell you that right now. We haven't bent one in testing yet at all. And we crash hard. Yeah. You got your cables themselves. You got your fake rams. Your screw hardware with pivots. And no, this isn't a complete hardware set. You still need your motor mounts. You still need your cables. You still need a couple things. You need shafts. You need props. You need this. You need that. And typically a guy that's doing his own boat, building it from scratch, really knows what he's doing. He's got his preference of that stuff that he wants. He wants to make his own motor mounts, his own thickness. He wants to make them out of his own material, etc. But then there are gentlemen that want a bear hull for different reasons. And in that case, what we will do is completely remove this hardware and sell it as a bear hull to you. And these here parts can go in inventory. I know a couple guys that are really looking for some of these alt drives. And don't forget, we have this new excellence in black carbon as well. In fact, fully dressed up, she looks real nice, buddy. Real nice. Let's take a moment to look at the seam. Wow. That seam is straight, babe. That seam is straight as hell, honey child. You ain't gonna have no problems. That's why we make our gel coat ones seamless. Our seam is so straight to begin with, it doesn't take much body work to smooth that completely out. And I'll tell you what, try to compare that to other hulls in its class. The quality and finish on ours is unmatched. It is by far better than any MHZ, TFL, any of that bullshit. Trust me. We have grown-ass men laying these boats up, not women and children. We're not relying on cheap labor. I don't have Fluffy out here laying them up. Fluffy, do you want to lay up hulls? Does it look like this cat wants to lay up hulls? She's a cat. They're cat hulls, but she doesn't want to lay up any hulls. She wants to just chill and be part of the movie and get in my way whenever she can. Our next exhibit, the inside seam. Would you take a look in there? Now check this out. What that is a strip of carbon that goes all the way around, front to back, okay? Now, we know the seam is somewhere right around the middle. Look how much carbon is overlapping that. And this carbon goes all the way up into here. It looks all the way up into the top. It goes down to the bottom. What's not going to happen with this hull is it coming apart at the seam. Now here's another beautiful thing we do too. Okay, so carbon directly against Kevlar has a certain acoustic property. What we do is we actually do a layer of fiberglass between the carbon and the Kevlar. And this is going from carbon to carbon, but we still do a layer of fiberglass. So our seams are also double thick. It's not just a seam, it's a double thick seam that's bonded from the inside as well that comes up in there. I really shouldn't be letting out these secrets because I've been seeing other companies trying to focus on our strong points and trying to key in on them, which is actually good for you guys. And I said that when I started this company. We got a lot of pushback and resistance and hate and weirdness, and which we really don't care. That kind of stuff actually, in reality, has gone away a hell of a lot. And I knew it would the more people saw our quality and the harder we worked. I mean, you can say I'm an asshole, you can say whatever you want, you know what I mean? But there's no taking away that we make the very best, highest quality hulls, and we have them the most readily available right here in the USA with the best customer service. And it's not this cat doing the customer service, trust me. Because if she was doing the customer service, it wouldn't be quite as good. I'm not going to say it would suck. Hit it from the back? My pleasure. Fluffy, you're going to have to... You can't be in the way of every video. Check it out. Check her out from the back. See how steep the dihedral is in the sponsons? How they angle up so hard? Our tail is very thick, very strong. You ain't gonna have no problems back there. Fluffy, gosh, why do you have to be right in the middle of every freaking video? Gosh, darn. Take a look at the hatch itself. This is a great place to start when you're checking out the quality. Look at that. Flawless. Very beautiful. And as I turn it over, you can check the inside. Look at that full carbon. Beautiful finish. Our peel ply comes out perfect. Now, we're gonna do the light test. What we've got here is a light. Hold it up to light, it completely darkens it. Light, dark. Light, dark. You can't see through them. No pinholes, no nothing. These are thick, solid ass holes. Way higher quality than anything in its class, as I've told you, and it is quite clear and obvious. Now look at this non-shiny, very consistent, satin-like finish. The beauty of this is the bottom is like it too. Now the bottom is where the magic happens. This is the part that's sliding across the water. Do you understand me? And what touches the water is what could possibly create drag. But not in our case. This uniform satin finish actually repels water. Do you understand me? So, what is the fastest creature in the water? A shark. A shark's skin is not smooth. A shark's skin was biologically engineered to repel water. And the way it does that is it's got a slightly rough textured finish. And what that rough texture does is create actual tiny microscopic air bubbles that come between the water and the surface of the boat. And that is really rad. That makes a gigantic difference. Most full-size race boats have had the surface textured to reduce drag. This can be done with a substance called speed coat. And sometimes they get in there and they sand it and make it the exact texture that they want. How do I know this? Because if you look in my bio, I race full-size boats. Schnuck, knuck, 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 knuck. Guys, I could go on forever about this thing, but I'll tell you what. I'm going to let you out of here. I'm going to have this listed as an option on our website before the end of the week. In fact, I'll probably do it today within a few moments so you guys can purchase. If not, feel free to give us a call at area code 510-689-7189. In fact, it doesn't have to be about this hull. It could be about anything we sell or anything you desire. Again, that's area code 510-689-7189. You can email us at oxideanmarine@gmail.com. And yeah, if you like what we're doing here, you like this video, please press the like button and subscribe to our channel. By all means, continue enjoying radio controlled model boating. Bill Oxidean, the Magnum 44, and this darn cat, over and out.